Hello and welcome to Carmela's Sanctuary of Squirrels. It's been a couple of weeks since I posted the short video of picking up 3 newborn Eastern Fox Squirrels from a home where a tree was being cut down. In this episode, I'll show you the intake process of the newborns, and you will also be brought up to date on their progress. Back at the sanctuary, I checked the babies to see if they were warm enough yet. Even though it had been less than an hour from the time they were found until I picked them up, they had already become hypothermic. They have to be warmed up gradually before they can be fed. They were still a bit cold, so I tucked the blankets back over them, then put them in one of the incubators to continue to get them warm. We are blessed to have 4 incubators here at the sanctuary. One is the travel incubator seen in the beginning of this episode. Once they were warm, it was time to check them in. I started with the male, whom I named Tuck. First, I weighed him using a scale that measures to hundredths of a gram. This accuracy allows me to closely track the baby's progress. Next, I looked him over to assess whether he had received any injuries during the felling of the tree their nest was in. Fortunately, there were none that could be seen. After the examination, I fed him Pedialyte, which had been warmed up gradually. It's important for the liquid offered to be lukewarm. Too cold and the baby won't eat. Too hot and it could scald the baby's mouth. Usually it takes several feedings for new babies to adapt to drinking from a syringe and nipple. In his case, he took to it like a duck to water. Once he had finished, I checked his belly, then weighed him again. I weigh the babies before and after each feeding. The difference between the two weights is equivalent to the amount consumed. 1 gram equals 1 milliliter. Once assured he had eaten enough for his first feeding, I used a moist Q-tip to stimulate him to go potty. After placing him back in the incubator, I started the process with the next baby, this time a little girl whom I named Lily. I decided to try feeding her with a stuffed animal to knead with her tiny fists. I tucked a small towel around the plush squirrel's arms, then weighed her. Then I tried feeding her using the plush squirrel. It worked okay, but it was a bit awkward. When I weighed her after the first syringe full, she really hadn't consumed much at all. So I refilled the syringe, then fed her the normal way. This worked much better. After weighing her again, I was satisfied with the amount she had consumed. So I stimulated her, looked her over again, then placed her back in the incubator. The third baby was another girl, whom I named Violet. She was the largest of the 3, weighing in at 24.27 grams, almost a full gram more than Tuck and Lily. I decided to try feeding her with the plush squirrel as well. She did a bit better with it than Lily had. I have a few ideas about how I might improve upon this approach to feeding them. After she ate, I weighed her, stimulated her to go potty, examined her again, then put her back in the incubator to await the next feeding. When they are this young, they need to be fed around the clock, so I stayed up all night with them. They did quite well, and after 24 hours, they were ready to start drinking squirrel milk replacer. At first, it needs to be diluted half and half with the Pedialyte. Switching them to full strength immediately can cause bloating, which could be fatal. A gradual switch is the best approach. Over the next couple of days, I gradually increased the ratio of formula to Pedialyte, until they were up to full-strength formula with no Pedialyte at all. As a side note, the black dot you see in the middle of their bellies is the remainder of their umbilical cord. It usually falls off at about a week old. The babies continued to eat well and started getting peach fuzz on their faces. Then suddenly one day, Tuck took a turn for the worst. He started eating poorly, and I could see that the formula wasn't moving through his system as quickly as it should have been. By the following morning, I knew he wasn't going to make it, in spite of all my efforts, including gavage feeding him. He was breathing heavily and slowly, what is referred to as agonal breathing. His skin turned an ashy gray, and he was listless. So I simply held him until he passed. This is the hardest part of what I do. Losing a baby after falling so deeply in love is truly heartbreaking. Even after 10 years of being a rehabilitator, I still cry for each and every squirrel I lose. On a positive note, it has now been 2 weeks since the babies arrived at the sanctuary. Lily and Violet are thriving and developing as they should. Their ear canals are developing, eye slits are now visible, peach fuzz is forming all over their backs and tails. Thanks for watching and have a great day.